ICICI started as a fund which looked at startups in the beginning, and then of course
Yeah,
they moved into bigger the equity play.
yeah.
So how is that going? How is that sort of worked out for you? And sort of when are you launching it?
At ICICI, when we do something new, we want to be fully prepared. We don't just want to go into the market with just an idea, which means that for us, a lot of research happens in several ways. One, of course, is the market opportunity. Second is the kind of companies that we will invest in, the kind of ideas that we'll probably back. And of course, there is also a lot of regulatory work that happens. So it's a combination of all of these things. That work is going on. We don't want to honestly rush into things unless we are fully prepared. So currently, the timeline looks like sometime mid 2022 is when we think we will come to market. But a lot of background work is going on. We are meeting a lot of companies. We are meeting entrepreneurs. We are meeting companies in different businesses. And this is also a space, as you rightly said, where we have not really done much over the last 2 decades. So for us, it is literally starting from scratch. And hence, it's even more important that we do appropriately thorough research before we come into the market. In a space like this, we will be managing money ultimately in a fiduciary capacity on behalf of a lot of external investors. About the size, for us, doing a good job is more important. As of now, the target will be maybe somewhere around 250, 300 million types. But we'll take a call closer to when we actually are to launch, depending on market conditions and also depending on the opportunities that we see.
What about the real estate fund which you were planning and you were looking at? How is that gone?
We are very close to receiving our final set of regulatory approvals because the work there started earlier. Parallelly, a lot of work is happening on identifying the right kind of assets. Real estate is an asset class, as you would appreciate, where a lot of physical due diligence is required, right? You actually have to visit site, you have to do a lot of checks, etc., etc. So a lot of that work is happening, and of course, parallelly work with the potential investors.
There is a lot of move amongst private equity funds, especially where they are talking that for startups and for different other models, you need what is patient capital. It's no longer a 5 to 8 year horizon, but you should have a 10 to 20 year horizon. So how do you see this whole area, and how are you going to look at your funds? Because your funds have also been typically 5, 8 years, etc., and all that stuff.
Personally feel there are a lot of opportunities where depending on the nature of business and depending on when you come in, the horizon can be 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, can be 20 years. And then it's up to us to figure out where we really want to play. Yes, there are some cases where if you get in really early, it could be 10, 15, 20 years. But, startup does not necessarily mean that you come in day one, that almost like an angel. It could be series B. Or maybe it can even be series C. So we will take that call as we go along. It's also a function, honestly, of how the market environment evolves.
You want to raise funds for different kinds of real estate, startups, etc. and all. Now, how much of this fund has the mood within India? Are you seeing a trend change, or are you seeing more or less the same thing where you are still sort of dependent on basically foreign money coming into private equity funds?
It's very interesting, Surajit. While, of course, on an absolute basis, the foreign pools of capital clearly are much bigger, much deeper. But at the same time, the domestic pools of capital are also starting to evolve, both in terms of size as well as in terms of maturity. So, today there are pretty good pools of domestic capital who are willing and able to take calls on different kinds of strategies. It could be early stage strategy, it could be mid market, it could be late stage strategies, it could be across asset classes. And some of these domestic investors actually have now evolved to a stage where, along with that, they are actually now willing to take calls at the same time across multiple kind of asset classes. The typical domestic investors historically used to be, say, banks, and yeah, they continue to exist, of course, subject to the regulatory restrictions. But I think in recent times, insurance companies have become a very, very important and a very, very relevant segment of investors. And actually, a long-term asset class fits in very well with their strategy. Similarly, pension funds are now emerging. In fact, very recently, the government has allowed even EPFO to invest up to 5% of their funds in alternate funds. Along with that, I think the Indian HNI family office space has also evolved quite rapidly, I think. First, I think their size has become very, very significant now. And also, I think their understanding, their maturity is quite good. A lot of them actually have very, very professional fund management teams, setups, etc., who are actually now very, very active and very, very relevant players in this space.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for giving your time. Wonderful talking to you.
Thank you, Surajit.
Thank
Pleasure.
you.
It was, as always, wonderful.
If you liked this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.